Hi everyone, thanks for joining me in my art corner. My name is Kathy. Today, we'll be working on tutorial part 4B. Ink and watercolor painting of chamomile and cosmos flowers with a couple of bumblebees. From the workbook by Sarah Simon, Flowers, Feather, and Animal Friends. I will be adding the step-by-step instructions for each part on the screen, so you will be able to reference the steps as you paint. You will need brushes round number 1 and 4, waterproof ink, a Sharpie ultra-fine point, or other types of waterproof pens you can use are the Micro-Pen Fineliner ink pens. You can get them on Amazon, and smooth watercolor paper. You will also need a tissue or paper towel to blot the paper, for adding highlights and to remove too much water or color from your brush or paper, and a container of clear water. I have already inked in the flowers and bees, which I completed in another video that I'll link to on the screen. Suggested color palette: Sunrise, Burnt Rose, Alizarin Crimson, Oxide of Chromium, Lemon Yellow, Luna Yellow, Ivory Black, Yellow Ochre. I will not be using these exact colors. I will be using the closest colors that I have in my color water palette. You can follow the color palette, or you can use other colors that please you. Remember to stay tuned to the end for a pro tip. Okay, let's get started. Number 1. Wash the center of the cosmos flowers with lemon yellow. We'll let this dry. While that dries, we will move on to the chamomile flowers. 2. Adding shadowing to the chamomile flowers by watering down ivory black until it is a light gray. Wash 2 or 3 petals only with this very light gray on each flower. The remaining petals will be the white of the paper. After making sure that the center of the cosmos flowers is dry, we'll add watercolor to the petals. These flowers don't look much like cosmos flowers, but that is what they are called in the book. So we'll just go with it. Number 3. Wash the cosmos flower petals in clear water, leaving the edges of the petals dry to add interest. Dab sunrise and burnt rose to the wet and wet areas. Concentrate dabs of alizarin crimson near the center of the flower. Repeat this on the other cosmos flower. 4. Wash the cosmos, greenery, and buds with alternating oxide of chromium and Luna yellow. Wash the chamomile stems in oxide of chromium. Sorry, but something happened to the video showing me painting the chamomile flower stems. But I'm sure you get the idea. 5. Wash the center of the chamomile flowers with sunrise. Add dabs of wet and wet of burnt sienna to add depth. Now, on to the bumblebees. Number 6. Wash the bees' bodies in clear water, leaving the wings dry or in reserve. Dab in wet and wet, lemon yellow, and yellow ochre. You can wash the wings in very light gray if you like. Now that my watercolor painting is dry, I'm going to add ink to the drawings, which will add interest and dimension to the image. Of course, this is optional, but it's good practice. Okay, here we go. You can add as little or as much as you want. This is a good way to experiment and see what you like in your art. Have to apologize. The rest of the video footage was out of focus. I think I need to get a different lens for my camera. The filming is a learning process for me, so I hope you bear with me. Here is the finished painting. You can download this image from my Dropbox. I will put the info in the description. Alright, now that I have that out of the way, let's move on to the pro tip. Remember that watercolors dry 10 to 20% lighter than when they are wet. Before you use them in your painting, you may want to use a scrap piece of watercolor paper to paint a swatch. Many artists prepare a color palette of swatches before they start their painting. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope the information was valuable to you in your painting journey. Please like and subscribe. See you next time. Happy painting!